What would you say is the most satisfying moment from your career to date?
My most satisfying moment was watching the joy and jubilation of my family at the Hall of Fame ceremony, the Naismith Hall of Fame. When you go to the Hall of Fame now, my picture's right up there, my grandkids, you see Jordan, you see all those people. Wow, it's unbelievable.
How tough was it, though, on you the first few times you were nominated not getting in?
Really, not as tough, because I never felt in my heart that I was ever going to get in the Hall of Fame.
You really didn't?
No, I mean, you hear people say, well, you contributed to the game, you belong in. I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. Bobby Knight. Are you aware of Bobby Knight's situation with the Hall of Fame?
That he helped you out a lot.
Yeah.
What's even more impressive than that, when you were broadcasting when he was a coach, you guys weren't all that close. He was pretty hard on you.
Well, he's hard. Bobby's tough on him. Bobby's a guy, if he likes you, he's going to go to bat for you. Well, one day, Bob called me up, and he said to me, I don't know if you're going to get in the Hall of Fame. It was the third time I was nominated. He said, well, I'm going to tell you what, you're going to feel like a Hall of Famer. So I have letters from every living Hall of Famer, from John Wooden, Krzyzewski, right down the line. He said, I have letters that they've written to the Hall of Fame on how there should be no category called contributions to the game if Dickie V is not in. And I started laughing, really? He said, yeah. He said, I started this because I firmly believe it. I said, you don't have to do that. Bob, you don't tell me what to do. Dick, don't tell me what to do. I did it because it's the right thing to do. And he said, here's what I'm going to do. He said, whether you get it or not, I've sent these all to the Hall of Fame, but I'm going to send you copies. I'm going to send you a copy, Coach Wooden's letter. It just brought me, handwritten letter, John Wooden. There shouldn't be Dick Vitale's passion for the game. His soul been vital to the game of college. It was really beautiful to see. And Bob did it, and that year I got in. I
know that they wanted you to give like a 5-minute speech. It ends up lasting 25 or 30 minutes. I hadn't watched it until the other day. From minute 1 to minute 25 or 30
I was short, actually, compared to some guys.
Right.
There's no way in the world that you could get up and think about all the people, Graham, that have been good to you and do it in 5 minutes. You just can't do it. It was just an incredible moment, an incredible high. But I let it go from my heart. I must have rehearsed. My wife had a kick out of when I gave my speech. She must have heard my speech 5,000 times in a bathroom, in bed at night, going over and over.
Hey, that's interesting, because that was my question when I was watching it, if you rehearsed or if you just...
Yes, let me tell you what happened. So when the speech ended, she said to me, that was nothing what I heard. I said, I don't know what happened, Lord. Everything I memorized, all that stuff, went out. I just said, you know what? I'm going to talk right from here. Talking about parents, talking about ESPN. Probably the greatest compliment, and he doesn't even know this, I've ever received, as far as I'm concerned. I was inducted a little while back into the Hall of Fame of broadcasters. And introducing me was George Bodenheimer, our president at the time at ESPN, CEO, president. And George got up and told the crowd, so a lot of you don't know this. He said, 1981, when I was hired by ESPN, meeting him, he said my first job was to drive Dickie V whenever he came to Bristol, work in a mailroom, and Dickie V basically would give me all this advice. I was basically in his eyes Dr. Dick before there was a Dr. Phil, because I would tell him, he would say, my girlfriend's getting upset with me, man. Here I am working in a mailroom. I want to be in marketing. I want to get ahead of marketing. And he went to a great college, Denison. And I would say to him, George, there's something about you. You're going to make it big. I know you are. And one day, I'm sitting in Atlanta airport, mid-90s, and plane delayed. Grab the paper, USA Today. Named the president of ESPN, George Bodenheimer. I said, holy, that's my former driver. True story. I called up his office. I told his secretary I didn't want to talk to him. A voice message. I'm going nowhere with my life. What am I doing? I'm driving you around. All I do is that. I'm working in a mailroom. I said, George, you're the president, man. Don't forget me. I want a new contract. I got my 5-year contract, baby, instead of a wristwatch. But George told the crowd that night, the greatest compliment I got. He said to the crowd, Dick Vitale treated me like royalty when I was his driver. And he's treated me the same way now. And the reason that was the greatest compliment, it hit my head immediately. My mom would be so proud, and my dad, because they always said to me, Richie, be good to people, and people will be good to you, no matter what they do in life.